On back attacks, and arm drags. We're gonna spend a couple more weeks on this. We're gonna take a pause on the focus on getting to the back and work on finishing from the back. Because it's a good opportunity for you guys to get really focused reps on finishing from the back for the next few weeks if you spend trying to get there, right? I don't want to wait till the end of the module and then go, oh, and here's how you finish, and then we go on to something else. You don't get a lot of reps on finishing that. Because that's when that back control is really gonna start to click for you. Once you have a couple successes getting a choke in and choking someone, because then you feel really awesome about your back control. There's nothing quite like taking someone's back and putting rear naked choke in. It's like one of the most satisfying things in Jiu-Jitsu. It's like the most dominant thing. Not only do you destroy them positionally, but you got like the classic finish in there, right? So it's very rewarding. Yeah, it's very good intrinsic kind of motivation for you guys to have. So we're gonna work on finishing this week and then build into, then go back into our back take transitions the next couple weeks. Come over here, Mike, please. So the first thing we're going to look at is one of our back maintenance techniques is oftentimes opens up the chin to get the choke. So what you're going to find when you're fighting for the rear naked choke, especially in no-gi, in good no-gi you're basically looking for a rear naked. In the gi you have a couple of collar chokes you can play with, which makes finishing the back from the gi a little bit easier because you have more to threaten. In no-gi you're basically going rear naked, rear naked, rear naked all the time. So you have to be really sneaky about it, you have to really bide your time. The first one we're going to look at, Mike's turtle. Got my first hook in. This hook all the way deep, my shin's on the mat. I got a seatbelt. So remember, near side arm is going over, bottom arm is going underneath here. Now when I'm grabbing my top wrist. So this arm's coming around, I'm grabbing my top wrist here. Because that's this little bony part of the wrist is what Mike's going to grab to keep me from choking him. So that's his best grip point. Go grab my wrist. See how he gets his thumb around it here? Because that way it's very difficult for me to come inside. And that's the easiest part of the wrist to grab. If he starts going up onto my fat forearms, it's a little bit harder for him to maintain that grip. That little nubby part where I'm really dainty is really where he's looking for it. So I hide my daintiness from him if I grab him myself. So I'm here, I'm hugging.
Oh man, you're killing me.
Now I got my head hugged nice and tight here. I take my toes into the mat. The toes that are between his legs, pushing forward. I'm bringing him over here to this back control position. Now Mike, since we've done this before, he knows to pull this up right away. He's trying to block this second hook. So I come down and I cross my ankles. This should be all review. Now from here, I'm going to bridge my hips into Mike and stretch him out. See how his chin popped up? You should pop right into this rear naked every time. Okay? Spin this way, Mike. So we're going to use this as an opportunity to set the rear naked up and also teach you guys how to finish it very efficiently. So here, I tip Mike over, cross my ankles, bridge. When I bridge here, a lot of times he's so worried about what's happening to his lower back and his hips that his head pops open like this. So as soon as that happens, even though I have my second hook in, you should be like a shark to blood here. Shoot this in nice and deep. Now whenever you shoot this in, I'm trying to get all the way back, trying to get this little bony part of his shoulder, like a little rock climbing grip here, nice and deep, and I'm putting my chin on top of my hand right away, making a structure here. The reason I do this, and I'm sorry I'm choking you repeatedly, Mike. Sorry. So the reason I do this is it makes it easier to maintain this grip. If I'm here, Mike's inevitably going to grab my wrist, start pulling my wrist down. It starts to be very difficult to maintain. Because he's very strong in this kind of motion, right? So as soon as he starts pulling down, it's very difficult to resist. I'm just going to gas my arms out. If I get here and make a connection, it's a lot harder for me to pull that down. It closes the space off and also makes me stronger. Go ahead and pull. I can maintain this all day. Now play with that with your partner. Try to maintain that choke grip without your chin on your wrist, and then put your chin on your wrist to feel how stupid easy it gets. I don't know why it works, but it works. There's go find a med student to teach me why it works so I can explain it to you guys. Because as soon as you make the structure, it's so much easier to maintain. So when Mike grips here, go and grip. So the danger here is I can't go like this and come in here and try and get my finish because Mike's going to pull my wrist down as soon as I take that structure away. So before I go in and finish, I pull this underhook out. I'm going to cock my elbow up. I'm going to come down and hook his wrist. And I'm peeling the near side off first. So I'm kind of striking down on it. So in here, boom. And I can use that little bit of push to ratchet this choke in deeper. And then I can come up here and hop this in. So one more time. He's blocking. Cross my ankles. Stretch. Pop that in. Chin on top. Pull this out. Peel it. Hop this rear naked choke in. Now when I hop this rear naked choke in, I'm not turning my palm to the back of his head, because that's a little bit easier for him to peel down. If he reaches up behind him, yeah, he pulls that down. It's a little easier. So I'm going to turn my knuckles to the back of his head and go in this way. Now it's a little harder for him to pull that through. So when I finish that rear naked choke, I want to keep everything tight. Don't start extending your back. You want to keep everything in, keep the space small. I'm trying to bring my elbows together. So I'm trying to close my small bicep and my dainty wrist against this carotid artery here. So I want to bring everything in. So when I do that, take a deep breath, and then start pushing this arm through. So you try to make that hole as small as possible. Boom, deep breath. Now once you start pushing down, then you can start extending. Right? A lot can go on to make that rear naked choke work. But the key is, be mean. Right? You get that choke in, don't be like, ugh. Just crush it right away. Okay? Everybody's looking at me like, yes. You're not going to hurt anybody, because they're going to tap. This is a choke. It's not like you're grabbing an arm and wrenching a shoulder out. If you get that rear naked choke, it should be like kill moment. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. So I want you guys, if you get that choke in, whether you have hooks, you have both hooks, no hooks, one hook, you should be squeezing, squeezing, squeezing until you get that finish. Okay? Let's give it a shot. You guys seem really enthusiastic. I'm a little bit out. Yeah.